My name is Kate. I am a housewife who's married to a farmer. Kyle and I have been married for 20 years. From early in the morning until late at night, I'm busy with farm work and household chores. It is not that difficult. Hey, Kate, this soup broth, you seasoned it, right? You're the wife in your household, so you should get the broth right. Geez, you're only good at making bad food. Compared to the sarcasm hurled at me by my mother-in-law and husband, it's not the least bit painful being busy with farm work and chores. I am amazed at how often they have the energy to complain about the soup I make. Ugh, I'm throwing this away because it's disgusting. Just a moment, Mum. My mother-in-law and my husband threw away the soup that they've been drinking into the kitchen sink. We've been married for 20 years, and this kind of harassment is a daily occurrence. Yet there is a reason why I am not divorcing my husband. Grandma, that's a bit too much. Eula called out to my mother-in-law in the kitchen. Eula will turn 17 this year. She's our daughter. Eula, I can't let you eat such a sloppy dish, you see. You have to understand that. Oh, yeah. Mom, can you come here, please? Eula, are you ignoring your grandmother? Eula ignored my mother-in-law and took me out into the hallway. Let's get out of this house. But this is your home, too. That again? That's enough. I gotta go to school. And breakfast? I don't want to eat with those people. And after saying that, Eula went up to the second floor to her room. Apparently, Eula was not convinced with what I said. What should I do? Looking down at the staircase, I could only mutter that. For Eula's sake, too, I think it's best to try and make things work in this house. But a few days after this, an incident occurs. I have something to tell you, but I think I might be sick. A few days later, I told this to my husband. I just received a notice from the cancer screening facility at the local center for another examination. Okay, that's just great. Huh? This guy is happy that his own wife is sick? Then, as my husband grinned, he showed me a picture on his phone. The image showed my husband and a young woman embracing each other in a revealing manner. Honey, is this... Well, that's what the world calls adultery. She's young and pretty, isn't she? What are you talking about? That's disgusting. My husband's words made me yell at him without thinking. What the hell? You got a problem with that? But this... You got a problem with me. Get a divorce. Get out. Ah! My husband pushes me and curses me. You forgot how much you owe us for feeding you in this house. If you were a wife, you'd have the common sense to not give a damn about your husband's womanizing. But adultery is an act of infidelity. It's your fault you're not an attractive woman. My husband responded plainly to my objection. Hey, what the... Then my mother-in-law, startled by my husband's angry voice, came over. Hey, Mom, listen to me. Kate is really insane. As my husband proudly told her that he was having an affair, he also appealed to her that it was insane for me to be repulsed by infidelity. No matter how much she spoils her son, she'll take my side this time, right? I was a fool to think so, even for a moment. My mother-in-law, after hearing my husband's story, said, That's your fault. What? It is common for husbands to have affairs. How small-minded of you to not allow that. Think of Kyle, who is being blamed by you. My mother-in-law's statement left me speechless. Wouldn't she also hate it if her own husband was having an affair? If my late father-in-law had an affair, would my mother-in-law have been okay with it? You are unfit to be a wife. I'd feel sorry for Kyle if he doesn't at least have a mistress. I was stunned by my mother-in-law's statement. My husband then said this to me. Oh yeah, I'm going on an overseas trip with my girlfriend tomorrow. Until then, don't skimp on your work and chores. Are you saying? Shut up. I don't like sick women. I don't want to be part of this. My husband's words left me with my mouth agape. We can't work as a couple anymore. But if we get divorced, Eula might have to stay in this house. I felt horrified at the thought. Anyway, I must try to avoid that. But things took an unexpected turn and progressed faster than I thought. Let's separate, please. It was dinner time that day. I was bowing my head to my husband. Mom! I take one look at Eula, who was staring at me dumbfoundedly, and continued. I have been enduring things for a long time for Eula's sake, but adultery is one thing I can't tolerate. I will take Eula and leave this house. Hey, Eula is my grandchild. If you want a grandchild, why don't you have Kyle have a baby with a girl he's in a relationship with? Huh, Dad? Are you really cheating? Eula, don't be fooled by this woman. Husbands must have mistresses, and she's crazy for not being able to stand it. Grandma, shut up for a second. Eula nailed it, and as expected, my mother-in-law shut up. I'm not going to pay you alimony. You say it's adultery, but you don't have any proof. That means you can't sue me. Ha ha ha. My anger was at its height when he said those words and laughed with amusement. But I cannot get too emotional here, because no matter what, I have to take Eula with me. You don't have to pay. However, I will take Eula with me. And please do not contact us at all in the future. There's no way I'm going to let a woman like you raise Eula, will I? That's right. You have to give Eula to us. I'll stay with my dad. Besides, I'm sure it will be more convenient for you. Huh? Eula? Mom, you might be ill, right? If you get divorced and take me with you, it would only be troublesome for you. Well, Eula is so smart, unlike you. Well said, Eula. Eula. I was stunned to hear my daughter's words. But then Eula whispered this to me. Mom, run away while Dad is on the trip. I'll handle the rest. Eula, don't worry, it's gonna be alright. I'll tell you the details later. Then Eula smiled as she said that. I nodded softly. Then I'm going to. While my husband and mother-in-law were away from home, I went back to my parents' house. My husband kept calling me to come home, but I ignored him. Then I went to the hospital and get another checkup. It turned out that I had early-stage breast cancer. I called my husband to report this, but, dear, I was sick after all. I knew you were damaged goods. Okay, divorce it is. But I'll get custody. I'm not going to let a deadbeat like you take Eula. Unless you have the means to feed her, you know. I could not answer my husband's words. I am sure Eula will be fine remaining with him. I have a plan that I discussed with her. If it succeeds, Eula can live with me without any problems. That's right. I'm going on another trip abroad with my girlfriend. And in the meantime, I need you to take care of my house. If you don't come, Eula will be doing the farm work alone. My mom will be traveling with me too. I bit my lip and endured my anger. But it's okay, because our plan is going well. However, I'm about to be hospitalized. That means I cannot go to my husband's house. Would you mind if my brother came over there? I have to stay at the hospital, that's why. Ah, what a useless wife. It can't be helped. I'll let you do that. Thank you, dear. My husband's words made me chuckle. With this, our strategy will work. Thus, I divorced him, leaving Eula with my husband. With the help of my parents, I managed to survive my illness. A year had passed since then. I even managed to get a job, and now I'm living alone in an apartment with my family in my hometown. Since I had been in the hospital for the past year, I have not seen Eula. I wonder how Eula's doing. As I muttered this, there was a violent banging on the front door. Kate, I know you're in there. Help me, please, Kate. What? Kyle and my mother-in-law? I opened the door, and Kyle and my mother-in-law were standing there in tears. And why the heck are you here? Ignoring my cold shoulder, they got down on their knees in front of me at the entrance. Please stop, Eula. We were bad, so please tell Eula not to sue me. What happened? And please stop kneeling. The neighbors will see, so. Oh, sorry. I agree, getting down on my knees was a bit too much. They both say so and stand up, looking embarrassed. In the meantime, please come inside. Then we'll have a talk. My ex-husband and my ex-mother-in-law entered my room with reserve. Then they told me something astonishing. Eula left home. Huh? And what's more, she'll sue us. Is that... Actually, this is what happened. They explained to me about what happened to Eula. Somehow, Eula took Kyle's bank book that he had hidden to use as evidence for his infidelity and away from home. So, where is Eula? At your brother's place. You can't be serious. My brother, Samuel, is a lawyer. In order to sue my husband for adultery, she seemed to have gone to my brother's place for advice. Have you heard anything from your brother or from Eula? No, I haven't. Good. If they ever say anything, don't ever sue us, okay? Yes. You understand, right? That's what a wife does. We're already divorced, though. Really? Just when I thought that I could finally start a new family. Eula's just trying to ruin it. If you ever hear from Eula, make sure you tell her not to sue us. What happened to that obedient behavior earlier? As soon as they saw that I didn't know what was going on, they both went back to talking to me in their usual tone. Hey, train there. Huh? We've come all the way here, so you should at least pay for transportation. Oh, I understand. I was afraid of rebelling and getting into trouble. I offered them both a $100 bill. My ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law snatched the money and went home. Mom, how are you doing? After they had gone, I received a phone call from Eula. I am so glad the plan worked. Yeah, I got proof of the affair and your bank book that he took and hid away. Where are you now? Uncle's place. Once he saw the evidence of the affair that I took with me, he smiled with satisfaction. Hearing Eula's happy voice, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. I never thought you would think of something like this. A year ago, no matter how hard we searched, your uncle and I couldn't find any evidence of the affair. That's why I told you, everything's gonna be fine. But how did you gather the evidence? It's easy. Dad didn't lock his phone, so that's why I was able to get the messages and pictures of them and his affair partner. But your dad and I are already divorced, you know. Do you think I can claim compensation? I asked my uncle about that too. He said it's okay. Even after a divorce, there's a 3-year statute of limitation. So, if you don't go past that, you can demand for alimony. I see. So, that's why you stayed with your dad. I didn't want to see the way Dad tormented you. So, I wanted him to get hurt. Otherwise, that guy won't be sorry for the affair either. I know. I won't waste your efforts. Yes, in order to prove my husband's adultery and to get back my savings he took away from me, Eula stayed with my husband. Now we just need to put the finishing touches on it. I see. But this was the beginning of a new ordeal. I then consulted my brother and prepared to file for alimony. Once I sent the materials for the request for compensation by certified mail, I received this phone call from Kyle. Hey, what do you mean you're charging me alimony? Stop kidding me. I'm sorry, I have Eula's future to think about. I just wanted to finish things with you. So, I had them send you a certified copy. What's with you finish things? And where is Eula? Come on, I don't have to tell you that. I've gotten used to my husband for yelling at me, so I was able to answer him back in a dignified manner. Then please transfer the alimony to my account, okay? There's no way I'll pay. I will sue you for being a bad wife. You better get ready. My husband says, but I have already predicted it. I've also discussed it with my brother and decided to file a claim for alimony against my husband's mistress. This is allowed by law. So the responsibility for alimony costs due to adultery or cheating is considered to be on the other side. My husband's mistress was living in her hometown, so the documents must have been seen by her family members. You can imagine what happened after that. I am so sorry. I heard that the woman with whom he was having an affair was in tears as she contacted my brother's law firm. Her parents got mad, and she was told to put all their savings toward repaying the alimony. So she asked if the amount could be reduced a little bit and started crying to my brother. Of course, my brother refused to do this. That's because he had received her parents' agreement to pay the full amount of the fee. Now, as for Kyle, he's on the road to ruin on his own. Kyle was all set to sue me, but apparently the plan fell through when they couldn't find a lawyer. Then it sounds like the alimony has made things nasty between him and his affair partner. And as for my ex-mother-in-law, she got mentally disturbed by this incident and suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and has been in need of nursing care. And what happened to me and Eula? I must tell you about it, right? Mom, I'm off. Have a good day. Eula is currently working part-time to save money for college. She goes to a regular high school and commutes from my apartment. We also decided to use the alimony to pay for Eula's higher education. Of course, Kyle has also contacted me several times asking for a reconciliation. You guys, I'll forgive you, so come back, or else you'll be in for a world of hurt. I get threatened every time like this. I record the call and consulted my brother, who is a lawyer. I filed a damage report and claimed that I was being threatened. And Kyle, as expected, tried to get in touch with Eula. But I'm your protector. You know what happens when you mess with me. Yep, I'm glad you didn't get custody, and I don't want to live with a father like you. What? What do you mean? That's... Dad, when a child is over the age of 15, he or she can decide which parent they want to follow. When you explained to me about what I was going to do about it, you told me, right? You said, you can do that on your own, so I had Mom take custody. But you were traveling overseas all the time with your mistress, so that's why you never asked about my uncle, who is a lawyer. No way! I don't accept that. You've got to be kidding me. Well, Why don't you check the family register? My last name will probably be changed to Mom's maiden name, so." With that said, Eula hung up the phone. My husband never learned his lesson, saying, "Give me custody, or I'll show you no mercy," calling again and again. This led to my ex-husband's being charged with intimidation, so he got interrogated by the police. The case was dropped due to the fact that it was a first offense, but word got around in the neighborhood that he had been arrested by the police. It seems that made him feel ashamed. I haven't heard from my ex-husband since then. For years I have endured for my daughter's sake. That my daughter would take revenge on my adulterous husband, I had no idea. With such a kind-hearted daughter, I want both of us to continue living by supporting each other as mother and daughter from here on. Thank you, Mom, for keeping me safe all these years. I was the one who was being protected. I didn't know you could be so dependable. When did you grow up? I'm glad you've grown up to be such a kind girl. Now, I'll have to step up and do my best for her sake."